Hello, in this video I just wanted to talk about the Vemont action camera, which is a cheap action camcorder that I got on Amazon for around $14, which included taxes, shipping, etc. So you might be wondering, for $14, around that price, $14, less than $20, what kind of value are you going to get from an action camcorder? I mean, the fact that you can buy a camcorder for around $14 is kind of amazing. So if I say anything critical, if I'm criticizing this product in any way, I just want to say that you just have to keep in mind the context. We bought this for around $14, so really just have to keep that in mind. You can't expect too much. But we are going to look at how it advertises itself, and we're just going to see if that's true. For example, the first thing you'll notice is this: Full HD 1080p. Probably talking about the video resolution. Does it record 1080p video quality? We're going to find out. There's only one thing left to do now that we have this action camera. We are going to open the box and then we're going to make some video tests. We're going to show you the accessories. So around $14. Interestingly enough, it says Vemont right here, the Vemont action camera, but the pictures on the kind of like the design, the layout, doesn't say Vemont here, which is kind of curious, which is kind of funny actually. Why don't they just put the name of the camera? This is just something else. Doesn't matter. Waterproof. You have your underwater housing, as you can see right there. 2-inch screen. Okay. This is what we're going to be looking at. How good is the video quality for $14? We bought a camera for $14, a camcorder. We're going to find out how much value we get from this product, given the price. So we're just going to look over here. Okay, you can mount it. It's an action camera, so it's more for those things that you don't want to film with your regular point-and-shoot camera like this one. You got your underwater housing. It's safe, secure. Okay, so you got your accessories. Just kind of talks about that. Curiously, it says Vemont action camera right here, Vemont, but nowhere on the box does it actually say, on the actual box, does it actually say the name. So this is kind of a very generic, like, kind of design. So, interesting, I guess. Oh, sorry, my apologies. It does say Vemont action camera with accessories. Blue. Vemont action camera. Okay. So that's fine. Vemont. But we're going to take a look, okay? What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, we were looking at the back, sorry. 1080p plus waterproof. Then it says video resolution is 720p at 30 frames per second. You see, I don't really understand this. When I first got this, I haven't opened this yet, by the way, but I did look at the box when I got this on Amazon. 1080p plus waterproof. Okay, waterproof doesn't really have anything to do with resolution. And then it says video. 720p, 30 frames per second. So does that mean 1080p is another number of frames per second? We're going to find out. Waterproof, because you have your underwater housing. Very important. Micro SD card, not included. Okay, so if you want one of these, typically these action cameras will require a memory card, specifically. A micro SD card, which is, I'm going to show you right here. See, it's right there. It's very small. Micro SD memory card. I got this as a separate purchase. You'll have to buy one separately so that you could insert it into your camera. This one is 32 gigabytes, so feel free to buy 32 gigabytes or more if your camera says that it will accept a memory card of that size. 32 gigabytes, okay? It's very small. See, this is my hand. Oh, sorry. Separate purchase. You need to buy one separately. Unless you're buying some sort of bundle or bundle or something like that that includes a micro SD card, but this does not. So you need a micro SD card separately. Buy it separately. Now let's take a look at what's in here and how much value we can get when we buy a $14 camcorder. This is going to be interesting. Okay. Let's put this over here. Let's put this over here. It doesn't matter anymore. Okay. Actually, let's put it here. Okay, is that fine? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so the first thing you'll notice is that we got our accessories and our camera. The camera is in the underwater housing. It's right here. The Vemont 1080p, it says 1080p again, so we're going to see if it records 1080p quality. The Vemont action camcorder for around $14 is what I got it for. You might be getting it for a different price depending on, maybe, I think there's another color. A different color might cost more money. So I got this, like the cheapest color, I think was blue. So keep in mind that you might be paying a different price. I'm not guaranteeing any price. I got it for around $14 in total, somewhere around that. So just keep in mind it could be different depending on maybe what color, or maybe they raised the price. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to take this off. Okay. Here it is, and now you can see my reflection of the camera that's recording this. So it says you're underwater housing. I guess this is for maybe a bike or something. This clip right here. Okay, so here it is. If you want to take it underwater housing, you have to pull right here where there's an arrow, and then lift this part up, and then that, and then the back opens like that. Okay. So as you can see, they're very small. So underwater housing, here's your camera. Very, very, very small. But the underwater housing will keep it safe. Doesn't necessarily mean that if I have the underwater housing, then I'm going to put this underwater. I'm just afraid that there might be leaks. But so essentially, if this can protect you from dust, things like that, just if it's just a light rain maybe. But I don't plan to fully submerge this in the underwater housing. I'm just afraid there might be leaks. The Vemont 1080p HD action camcorder for around $14, which is the price I got it for. Now you see there's where your battery is. I'm sure the battery's in here already. Very important. Mic USB, sorry. Focus? Please. Okay, there. USB. That's where you're going to plug in the USB cable so that connects to your computer. Sorry, I don't know why it's not focusing here. Let me just... There. Okay. On the left, it says USB. You're going to connect it to your computer, the USB port. On the right, it's for your memory card. Separate purchase, you'll need to buy a memory card. Micro SD memory card, which I showed you earlier. And then you're going to insert it right there. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to insert the micro SD card that I bought separately, as a separate purchase, and just so that we can start using the camera and hopefully the battery is charged. So I'm just going to insert this right now. Please bear with me. Sorry, I'm just going to have to put in the memory card. I'll get that done right now. Okay, it's kind of difficult to put this memory card in, so I'm going to need to use, believe it or not, I'm going to have to use these scissors, which is going to be kind of tricky. See, you have to kind of push it in like that, but it's tough, so you have to kind of push it in until you hear that clicking noise. So let's just hope I'm not going to break this whole thing right now. Okay, it's going to be really tricky. Okay, I don't like this part. Click. Success. We heard the click. There it is. It's in now. Okay. So we have inserted the memory card now. We just kind of pushed it in until we heard that little that clicking noise. So that's kind of tough. So you just have to make sure first you insert it the correct way, based on the diagram right here. See? So that little, yeah. So insert it the correct way and then just push it until you hear a click. So it should be fine now. And then this will be USB to connect to your computer. The Vemont action camcorder. There's a little plastic thing right here. I'm just going to take that off. Great. Okay, that's done. Now we're ready to use the camera. But first, let's talk about the accessories. USB cable for connecting to your computer. That's good. And a bunch of mounts. I'm not going to go over these because I might not even use all of them. So just keep in mind that these are standard. They'll come with most cheap action cameras, and it's really like the same sort of thing. This is my third action camera, the cheap action camera, and most of these are standard. They will be in your package. I just don't really use these, but they can be for a bike, a helmet, other things, I guess. And just feel free to just kind of, I'm just showing you what's in the box, but feel free to just rewind the video and maybe look back and just think about what these might be useful for if you just ever plan to purchase one of these. But most cheap action cameras will come with a bunch of accessories such as these, so it doesn't really make sense for me to go over them because I'm not really planning to use them, don't really know what they're for. And if you don't plan to use them either, it doesn't really make sense for me to go over these. Okay, so there is a little instruction manual, some straps right here, some straps. Okay, so here's the camera. We're going to talk about this very, very, very soon. I'm just going to put this down right here, and we're going to talk about it. I'm just going to show you the instruction manual. Okay, sports cam, waterproof, full 10. Oh, okay, here's the claim again that they're advertising full HD 1080p video quality. I assume they're talking about video quality, not picture quality. But I mean, really, this is an action camcorder. They're advertising 1080p video, so we're really going to investigate that. We're going to see if that actually, and again it says full HD 1080p, waterproof. Yes, there's underwater housing. Really the question is going to be how good is the video quality. Oh, OC, yeah, they're talking about talking about video quality, 920 by 1080p. We're going to find out how good the video quality is. I'm definitely going to make some video tests. And here's our instruction manual. It really talks about just what kind of features there are. Why doesn't it say Vemont here? I just don't get it. It can just put Vemont, right? Why doesn't the picture match? It says Vemont. Never mind. Okay, so we have basics. I've used these before, so I don't really need to read this, but feel free if you've never used an action camera before. Power button, options, menu, etc. Oh, the accessories. Feel free to just look at this at your leisure just to see. Maybe pause the video and just see if there's something that you'll ever use. If you already have one of these, you know what accessories you have. Okay, so this is cool. It just shows some diagrams showing you how you can mount your camera, I guess, with the different accessories. Video settings. Okay, photo settings. Okay, so it says it takes photos up to 5 megapixels. Oh, time-lapse. They have a time-lapse feature. That's really interesting. Huh, there's a time-lapse feature. That's exciting. Okay, maybe I'll do a time-lapse test later. That's pretty cool. Interesting. Okay. Video settings. Oh, okay, here we go. So it advertises itself as... Oh, I see. It's 1080p, 15 frames per second. 15 frames per second, not very good. Okay. We're gonna test out. Okay, so see, it says it in more detail. 1080p video resolution, 15 frames per second, 720p, 30 frames per second. We'll figure it out. We'll make some tests and I'll show you how good the video is. All these menu options, things like that, how to navigate the different settings, micro SD card. So it says compatible with 32 gigabyte. Looks like the maximum file size that they recommend, the maximum capacity micro SD memory card that they recommend is 32 gigabytes. So that's the one I have. So it's a safe option. If you're going to get a micro SD memory card, get 32 gigabytes. Should be fine for most of these action cameras. Charging the battery, connect it to your computer via the USB cable. That's really all it is. So we're going to get started right now. We're just going to see if the battery is charged on this Vemont action camera, and we're just going to go through the options. So we don't need to use the underwater housing. You'll notice there's some buttons on the underwater housing. So really, button here, button there, button there, button over there. So we can press the buttons even if the underwater housing is on, which is fantastic. But since we have it off, let's just go through this without the underwater housing. So we're going to see if it's charged. I'm going to press this button, hold down the power button right here, and we're going to just turn it on. Let's see if it's charged. Good, it is charged. Great. Vemont. Okay, nice logo. Okay, so battery's not almost fully charged. So we got 1080p. It's currently set to record 1080p, supposedly 1080p video resolution at 15 frames per second, but we can always change that. You click this button right here, the power button, just tap it, don't press it down. It's going to go to photo mode. Right, 12 megapixels. Okay, we're going to see how good the photo quality is. So clicking this button, it goes between your photo features, camera features, and the camcorder features. See again? Oh, and the playback. Oh, okay, so every time you tap this, you'll go to a different area. So you got your settings. Sorry, there you go. Okay. Okay, so you got your settings. And remember, I'm just hitting this button right here. Playback, so whatever videos or photos you have, you can play those back. Resolution, okay. So click this button, okay, means it keeps going forward. Resolution, and then these buttons to go up and down. 1920 by 1080p, 15 frames per second, I guess. I'm going to take this box out of the way, sorry. I think it's just kind of distracting me a little bit. Okay. Yeah, it's better. Sorry. Just waiting for its focus. Okay. Might also take out the instructions. It's just hard for me to see. Okay. Now this is perfect now. Okay. 1280 by 960. I wonder if that's a typo. I wonder if it should say 1280 by 720. Really, because 720p, I thought it's 1280 by 720, not 960. But it doesn't matter. We're going to figure that out. So this is the maximum resolution. The next one, VGA, very low quality. So we got 4 resolution settings here. So let's go back a little bit. Okay, so resolution date tag, we can turn that off. You don't really need that. It means it's showing you the date and it's recorded or when the picture was taken, so we don't need that. Motion detection, cyclic, I guess that means that it'll it'll record for a certain amount of time, and then when it gets past, when it like maybe records for 5 minutes, and then it'll be a 5-minute clip, but it'll just keep overwriting what was recorded previously. I don't know exactly. So cyclic recording, I guess it'll just keep overwriting, and so if you want a 5-minute clip or 10-minute clip, it'll record that, but it'll be the most recent footage. I could be wrong. Okay, I could be wrong. But it doesn't really matter. Feel free to just... I haven't really used this feature, cyclic record. So resolution, we already talked about the resolution options. Audio, I guess it'll record the audio on, of course. Yes. Camera resolution. So we got 12 megapixels, 10 megapixels. 8 megapixels, 5... Wow, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay, so we got the 12 megapixel on. We'll see how good the photo quality is. Delay pictures, that's cool. If you there's want to be a delay, a few seconds that takes your picture. Auto power off. I don't really want the auto power off. Yeah, off. Screensaver. 1 minute screensaver. So then at 1 minute it'll turn the screen off while it's recording. So that'll save power. Especially if you're doing something like a time lapse that's going to be recording for a lot of time or taking pictures for a lot of time. It's good to have a screensaver on, so the screen will go black after, I think, or something else. It'll save battery after 1 minute. It's going to do that. Yep. Time settings, not really important for me right now. Version, okay. That's it really. Resolution we already talked about. Let's start on the highest resolution. Okay, I just tried holding down this button. I was trying to look at the settings, but I want to try to get to the time-lapse settings. So let's click this button right here, get to the photo section. I'm trying to, I want to go to time-lapse mode. I'm not really sure how to do that. I'm going to have to try to figure this out. Time-lapse. It said there was a time-lapse feature, so I'm trying to figure that out. I'm going to try to have to figure out how to get to the time-lapse feature. We can make another video on that once I figure that out. Okay, it zooms in. That's interesting. I don't know if the zoom actually works, but it doesn't matter. resolution. Okay, we're gonna try this one more time. I'm gonna cycle through these options. If I can't figure out the time-lapse feature, then I'm gonna have to make a separate video. I hope there is a time-lapse feature. I just don't see it. Okay, I mean, honestly, that's fine. I just thought that holding down this button would give me the settings for for different features for taking photos, like time-lapse. So maybe I might have to make a separate video. I mean, I don't know why I haven't been able to find that time-lapse feature. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But I have the memory card here. So it should work. I'm going to make some video tests, some photo tests. I'm going to make another video showing you how good the video quality is. Separate video, because this video is already very long. Just showing you what kind of value there is in a camera that I purchased for around $14. Keep in mind the price might be different that you buy it for, depending on maybe the color or if the seller raises the price. But in this case, it was a total around $14, around that price range. So around that price. And we're going to see how good the video quality is. We're going to test at different resolutions. Sorry, just focus. Different resolutions, and we're just going to see what kind of value there is here for such a low price. Anyways, I'm going to turn this off right now. And we'll see you in the next video where we make some video tests of this Vemont action camera. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day. We'll see you in the next video with the video tests at different resolutions, and as well as some photo tests.